Guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cinegalax, and I want to give you guys my first update impressions on Null and Carnage, because I think a lot of people have a lot of questions and a lot of people have a lot to say. I think this is a really good update for the meta enjoyers. I think the meta non-enjoyers are going to be in shambles, because it looks like these are the final pieces to put together the symbiote puzzle. I don't want to jump to a conclusion too fast. Like, I don't want to, you know, I never like overhyping characters, and I try not to overhype characters because I feel like it can lead to FOMO and things like that. But I genuinely think that they cooked with Null. I also think from my limited testing that they cooked with Carnage, and that means that there's 5 very powerful symbiotes now in the game. Right, you've got Null, Carnage, Silver Surfer, Spider-Man, and then, you know, take your pick here. You can put somebody, you can slot in a support like Agent Venom, obviously, Sleeper, Colossus, and a bunch of other stuff. You get some really crazy stuff here. Obviously, in that situation for 5, I'm talking about Otherworld Battle, but you can talk about triple symbiotes for PvP. You can talk about symbiotes for PvE as well. It's really nice, man. This is probably one of the strongest like sets of ability characters we have for any one ability in the game now. It's a very, very strong, very cohesive team with a high balance of support and like high DPS characters. So yeah, I think this is quite nice for an update for that. Obviously, if you're not into into symbiotes, you're not going to have maybe a lot to talk about or enjoy in this update. That makes sense. Keep in mind that the new event mission is available now, and I highly recommend everybody check this out, because it's an easy event mission. You get symbiote event tokens. You can get 400 over the course of the event, and the event shop is really good. I'm going to cover it in the sleeper video as well, but because you get 400 tokens over the lifespan of the event, which is this 8 days, you can actually pick up 2 of the 3 symbiotes that are all technically sort of paywall. Sleeper is fully paywall, so I recommend, you know, you don't have to, it's not a must, but I would recommend getting him, unlocking him. As for Agent Venom and Carnage, they're both technically farmable. You can sort of put that in quotations, from the support character missions. So if you over the years, if you've been playing and you've been farming dimension missions, however many per day, you may have already gotten enough bios to unlock Agent Venom or Carnage, or both. So in that case, you could either, you know, unlock the other one that you don't have, if there's another one besides Sleeper that you don't have, or if you have all 3, or you have 2 out of the 3, whatever, you can spend the rest on Team Up Collection tokens. The newest Team Up Collection, unfortunately, Symbiotes is not there. I would recommend going for Avengers. If not Avengers, maybe Midnight Suns or X-Force. It really depends on who you have tier 4, but it's quite nice that they added that. A lot of people are questioning why the token event to give away a CTP, a P card, that one where you exchange tokens, where that event is. That's a good question. We haven't seen it yet for the full update, despite the fact that we're already 2 weeks into the full update. We do have in the archive another token event coming called Goodbye to 2024. It's kind of scary to see the word goodbye in Marvel Future Fight, because you know, a 9-year-old game, you start like, oh, you know, in the middle of the night. But yeah, no, they're just saying goodbye to 2024. So this is probably going to be a World Boss. If I had to guess, it's a World Boss Legend event token, but it may be something else just to like celebrate the end of the year. Who knows what they're gonna do? Honestly, they could do a lot. I don't want to speculate too much and sort of set my expectations too high, but they could, you know, update Null's World Boss Legend stage to showcase his new armor, his new uniform, and to make him difficult, right? More difficult, because he's the easiest World Boss Legend. But they might just do like a token event to beat him however many times, like when they have new world bosses introduced and stuff like that. And man, I gotta say, if you look at this, I know my thinking is all over the place, but holy shit, bro, they cooked so hard. This looks so insanely good. He looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. The hair's a little bit long, I'd say. It's a little bit distracting, but he looks incredible, man. They cooked so hard. He looks so cool. His skills are so cool. I'm not going to spoil it for you in this video. You should absolutely take the time when you have a few minutes, jump into the skill preview with the uniform and check out some of his skills, man. They paid homage to the Gore Necro Sword with his second skill. It's very, very similar. But his 4th skill, his 5th skill, oh man, talking 3-star Michelin cook. It's incredible. And then his tier 3 advancement animation, one of the coolest in the game, if not the coolest. So yeah, when I see this kind of stuff, does it tempt me to say that they should update the graphics in Null's World Boss Legend stage? Absolutely it does. Speaking of Null's World Boss Legend stage, they did not add his artifact. That is cringe, and I'm a little bit disappointed, but it also wasn't in the patch notes, so I think some people are laughing and pointing at me and saying, what were you thinking, Alex? And that's fair enough. That's a fair reaction. However, I still am of the mind that they will add his artifact into the stages at the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 intervals in the future. Beast Mode Gaming apparently speculated that it could take one full update cycle, so maybe by the end of January, and by the end of that update cycle, they might add it. That's certainly a possibility, but I would still probably not encourage people to gamble for his artifact unless you desperately want it and you desperately need it. And even then, I would say sleep on it, think twice, because again, every other world boss, including Jean, right, who they added her artifact way before and then put it in later, they all got theirs added to World Boss Legend, right? So there's no reason for them to keep Nulls out of there for too long. And what you can do in the meantime, because there's a sale on right now, if you really desperately need it, there's a sale on right now where you can grab a 3-star artifact for just a few dollars. I'm trying to find it here. It is the Black Friday Artifact Selector Relay. You just the very first one, not the more expensive ones, and it's just about $5 Canadian or $5.50, so it's probably even less US dollars, like $4, something like that. And you get a 3-star artifact selector. Now, unfortunately, the artifact selectors from Black Friday, if you're holding on to any of them from the bingos or anything like that, those won't work. They won't have Null in them because they were released before his artifact was added to the game, and these selectors don't get updated. But the newest one that's in the shop as of the update, it will have it. So that's what I did. I got myself a 3-star version of his artifact, and then in the future, if you get a 5-star or a 6-star version from gambling or from the drops from World Boss Legend where I expect them to be, you can just replace it. And any upgrades that you make to the artifact will carry over. So you don't have to worry about enhancing it again later. Like if I had a 6-star, let's pretend that Exodus was a 6-star Null, and I equipped it over top, the 6-star Null would turn into plus 12. It would take the full amount from Nulls. So that's what I would do if I were you. It is a little bit disappointing that the devs didn't do that. It would be nice if they at least mentioned what they were going to do, i.e., you know, hey guys, we will, Null's artifact will appear in World Boss Legend, but not yet. I think they're not saying it because they want to bait whales into gambling for it, and especially now with the gambling, 40% off or whatever, 1 to 6-star artifacts, I can totally understand why they want you to come in here and gamble for it and try to get it, right? Listen, I get it. They're trying to make as much money as possible. They're a business, right? That's kind of what they do. And yeah, you can see it's there. But yeah, I think you're better off waiting. As far as, Carnage, I think he's going to be overshadowed by Null for sure because they're both villains. But I think Carnage is good in his own right. I don't think he looks as good as Null for sure. But I think he's strong. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. His 5th skill does a lot of work. It cooks pretty hard in PvP, literally and figuratively. So you'll see from that. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. The only other big change for this update is zombie survival. They made it a little bit easier because they changed it from the skill restrictions being, what was it, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 4, 5 to being 1, 2, 4. So now you can use characters who have their 3 and their 5 available, and then their 6 and 7. As far as what else, that's pretty much it. So if you're not interested in Null or Carnage, you can just keep on saving for the next update. Just keep in mind the event, obviously. And then they also added back the World Boss event missions. Now, these are like the left-hand side track is completely free. So you should absolutely always get these rewards, 100%. And then if you buy the right side track, it's not just the rewards that you get. I think a lot of people are just thinking that it's just these rewards and it's not really worth it. And for sure, if it was just those rewards. But it also increases the drops from 15% to 35%. and then it adds a 20% buff to the other drops, the tier 2 and tier 3 materials that you otherwise don't get. So it's actually quite nice because that lasts for 2 weeks. And then that's 5 times a day for 2 weeks. It does add up quite a bit. Now, yeah, there's as far as the rest of the Black Friday stuff, because they did roll over a bunch of deals, or they introduced a bunch of new deals. There's nothing really much to talk about besides I think this is pretty good for emblem chasers, emblem enjoyers, and then the crystals being refreshed so that you can get the bonus amount. That is pretty nice. One thing I wanted to mention with emblems that we talked about and we discussed in detail on stream, if you want to see that like really you know, talked about or like done in detail, is for Null or any other native tier 2, tier 3 that you want to tier 4 ASAP, and you want to get your hands on a second potential realization ticket. Yes, you can buy them in the shop. They're expensive, but they do sell them for $70 each. So you can see there, you get some crystals, you get some tier 4 materials, whatever. You're not just paying $70 for the ticket, but you're paying like whatever, $30, $40 for that superior second potential realization ticket. If you don't want to do that, in both the Spider-Man and Iron Man emblem collections, if you get up to 42 stars, you can see here I just got it on the Iron Man one and I used it tonight for Null. Yeah, you get a second, you can get for free a second potential realization ticket, and you can farm up the resources that you need, and you should be sort of passively farming up every day the resources that you need for the emblem upgrades, just by doing those missions, right? Those Multiverse Saga missions. So you can eventually unlock this completely for free. It costs some gold, right? But that's it, right? Because there's nothing else to do with the emblem enhancement kits and the emblem data. It's just to level up the emblems. So if you're close to 42 stars on either the Spider-Man or Iron Man, consider focusing in on it, zeroing in on it, so you can get to that next level to get to that reward if you're trying to unlock Null's potential really fast. Because unlike tier 1 characters, you know, it could end up taking like 2 weeks, right? Because I think the minimum amount you can get for Null is, obviously you can one-shot. You can get 100% in one day. But the minimum is 8%. So if you divide 100 by 8, you actually get, it's 8.33. You get about 12 days. So it's actually going to be 13 days. So 13 or 14 days, depending on whether you skipped today. It's going to be quite a long time. So, yeah. Those are kind of my update first impressions, and also some tips I have for you guys so you can make the most out of your Null buildup if that's something that you're looking forward to or sort of trying to fast track. I've had some people also ask me if they should buy Null, unlock him at 3 stars in the shop with crystals. Please don't do that. Please just beat his stage 10 times, beat his ass 10 times, stage 1, and you'll get his bios, and then you can unlock him for free. Never ever pay for characters that you can unlock, whether it's Thanos, Kang, Silver Surfer, Dormammu, whatever. Always just unlock those characters for free and do it that way, and then you'll soon be a Silver Surfer Black Null Ancient History enjoyer, like me and like others. And you trust me, it feels so much better when you unlock it without buying it. So yeah. Anywho, I'm really excited. I got a lot of videos to pump out for you guys, but I just wanted to give you guys the skinny on everything, give you guys some tips, and highlight some stuff I see for the future of the game. So yeah. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. Smash the down button if you hated it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.